say.
Anyway. Come on, Viagra.
Dude.
Alright,
Girls, just move
recording?
in. Just move.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we are.
We're live.
We're
We
live.
are actually.
Should I just start?
I mean,
Or are we
sure.
introducing this in some way?
No, let's just jump in.
Okay, here's the first question.
Mhm.
Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
Do you guys think it has to be living? What do you think this means? I took it as like anyone living or dead.
I don't think we can give you any help.
I took it as anyone living or dead, so
Okay.
I'm gonna say my dad.
Okay.
Cool.
Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to be famous? In what way?
No. I would not like to be famous because I think that I think that one inherently has to commit part of oneself to being famous as a pursuit in and of itself, unless you're sort of in an industry where that's like inherently a measure of success is fame. So I would rather just try to be fulfilled by whatever I'm pursuing in general without feeling like I have to be famous, just because I also think that fame is a very fickle thing. And so you can be making yourself subject to the rise and fall of something that you can't really predict or have, at best partial control over, which just sounds like not a great idea. Recipe for disaster, if you will.
All right. Number 3.
Yes.
Before making a phone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? Why?
And why? I think maybe I have once, and it was because I was intensely nervous about it. I think that maybe if I worked in a more business-oriented setting, I would have to do something like that. Just because I feel like there's more formality. Sometimes you're calling or speaking to people that you like really don't know, whereas I don't do that, or at least not in such a way that really is like dictating anything important.
All right. What would constitute rats?
Well, that's why I wanted to read the questions first.
I still would have done that. What would constitute a perfect day for you?
Man, I don't know. That's a good question. Right. I guess.
Thank you.
I guess right now, I would get up early. I would go on a walk with Donut. I would go to the gym. I would go to the lab, collect a bunch of data, do some data analysis, come home, read some stuff, and get to sleep early so that I can wake up early the next day. That sort of is it for me right now. It's what I'm trying to adhere to.
When did you last sing to yourself or to someone else?
I mean, earlier today, probably. Like we've been singing some stuff.
Sure.
I love to sing. Singing is a big part of my life. I wish music was even more a part of my life these days. I wish I was playing live music or playing music at all, really. But again, I think that's a thing that really takes a lot of practice. It takes a slice out of your resources, so
True.
hard to do.
If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or the body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you choose?
I'm gonna steal an answer from someone else on this one, which is
Who?
like Frances. She said that if your body was in good shape, it would be much more likely that your mind would be in good shape anyway. And I think it's also just like that's inherently the thing that ends up being more limiting when you get to a certain age. So it might be nice to have a.
Yeah, why would you want to keep the mind of a 30-year-old?
I think the point is that it's an either or. It's like you could either have a strong body or a strong mind late in life. Which would
Right.
you want?
I see.
That's my interpretation of it.
Right. Right.
So of course I say mind, just because I like the idea of like being not able to care for myself is pretty unsavory.
All right. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
This may sound intense, but like I kind of feel like I'm gonna die of cancer in my 50s.
Whoa. Really?
I kind of feel like I'm healthy and like people in my family have like traditionally lived pretty long, full lives. But I just have a weird like fear, premonition.
Huh.
I don't know why it is, but I do.
Huh. Interesting. In your 50s.
Yeah, it may be just that this is like more about like the fact that I'm like kind of bummed out these days.
Yeah.
And so I don't necessarily have like clear images of like being an old man or what that would look like, because I don't I'm not married, I don't have or whatever, I'm technically separated still. But
Right.
rather I don't feel like I know how the rest of my life's gonna go, so maybe it's just an expression of that too.
Okay. All right. For what in your life do you feel the most grateful?
I mean, the relationships that I have with people, friends and family. My friends and family that are so insanely helpful and supportive to me and of me and of everything I do.
All right.
It's an easy one.
If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
It would have been awesome to have siblings, because I think it would have kept me in line a little bit, which would have been nice for me to have to share with others as I was growing up. I think would have made me less sort of self-centered.
That's a good answer. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained one quality or ability, what would it be?
To fly, obviously. I don't understand what this question's about. I mean, no, that's not. I guess they mean a real
That's
one.
not true.
I guess they mean a real one because it's. I mean, the point of the question, right, is to get like, what do you see as lacking in yourself, basically.
Yeah.
It's like sneaky way of talking about that. One ability.
Or quality.
Or quality.
Telekinesis.
Super strength.
Can I say redness? Is that a
What is
quality?
it?
Redness.
Redness?
I want more redness.
More redness.
Yes, I want to be more red.
Really?
That's the
But
quality
not-
I want.
That's an odd one.
That's I'm joking. That's not a
That would be very strange.
it's not a real answer.
I should hope not.
What ability? What ability? One ability.
Or quality. Whatever. I don't know what's the
More self-love.
more self-love.
How's that?
That
Is that fair?
works. I think so.
I would
So
like to be able to
quality
love
Loving
myself
yourself.
more.
more. That makes sense.
I think that's a challenge for everyone.
Yeah. How can you go wrong with that? If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
Everything. I guess I would want to know if I was. I would want to know if I was gonna, if I was gonna meet someone that I was gonna like, at least have like kids with, or if that was like not in the cards, or love life stuff. I think love life is more confusing.
I'm gonna read it.
You get in there, Diego?
Is there something that you've dreamt of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it?
Get off my back, 36 questions.
I really, honestly, right now, sort of no. Like, I really feel like I'm doing. This is like a weird, conceited way to put this, but like, I'm doing the very best I can to do the things that I think are really like genuinely fulfilling and make me happy. Like, I'm very lucky to be in the position that I am right now, which is I'm working hard, but I love my job. And I'm really trying to just, you know, when there's something that I feel like I know I should be doing, I try to be as good about making it a part of my life as I can. So no, I don't want to be. There's nothing else I need to be turning my focus towards. Of course, there's things that I've dreamed about doing, but I'm not going to take away from these big, important, fulfilling goals that I have right now to do something that's a fantasy.
What is the greatest accomplishment of your life?
I don't know. I guess I'll say. Starting to realize that, you know, life was not about a destination or an accomplishment or a specific thing to attain, but more about just being happy along the way. I think that was really the start of a big shift for me, so I'm sort of proudest of having reached that realization and started changing things in my life.
What do you value most in a friendship?
Loyalty and give and take, golden rule type stuff. Like, I think it's important to have balance, parity in a relationship where you're both putting in the same amount of effort. Because I think otherwise you develop resentment towards the other person.
What is your most treasured memory?
My most treasured memory. It's an interesting question, because it's not necessarily about like the thing that you did. It's like, which memory of yours do you have that's the sweetest? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Most treasured. I don't know. Most treasured memory. My most treasured memory, I guess, is of the time of like back when I was in first grade and was first introduced to negative numbers. And that was like one of the first aha moments that I ever had.
Huh, interesting.
And it, like, I can trace my love of math and of analytical thinking like that to that moment.
That's cool. I like that. What is your most terrible memory?
When Pretzel got hit by the car and died in my arms.
Yeah.
That was lousy.
That's a doozy.
It was a bummer.
Yeah. Alright. If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you are living right now?
I am hopeful that I would not. Because I think that actually connects back sort of strongly to the earlier question about like, is there anything that you've dreamed of doing for a long time, why aren't you doing it question? Because it's basically the same thing. Like, is there, if you had a super increased urgency, is there something you would be doing differently, right? There's like, is there something that you secretly want to be doing that you're like holding back from doing? And look, no, I don't think so. I would want to be, I mean, maybe I would. I don't know what it is. I would hope that I am truly following that. I hope
What roles? I'm sorry.
What Smurfs?
What does friendship mean to you?
That's it? Or does
That's
friendship-
it.
Okay. What does
That's
friendship
it.
mean to me?
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, that's a really open-ended question. I mean, I think friendship means a very wide swath of things that are mostly about just like a shared perspective on something. It's like being able to relate to another human being, sort of just like a nice scaled version of that where you can benefit from that mutual understanding. It's what Diego is doing right now off screen that you can't see. That's what friendship is.
What are you doing?
Take it from me.
Alright. What roles do love and affection play in your life?
I think they're totally necessary. And I think that living without love and affection is very unnatural. I think that emotion is the why of life. So I think that without at least, having hope of those things being in your life, I would not really have any motivation.
How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's?
Extremely, and yes. But I don't know. I mean, that's. I do, but I also feel like that could just be standard, whatever that term is. I don't know what the terminology is for this, but the tendency of human beings to rate themselves as above average in everything. So if you ask them about like how happy they are on average, everyone says like it doesn't come out to like whatever 50-50. It's like it's highly skewed towards happy. Or like rather, sorry, not just that, but like when you ask people to like tell you where they think they lie in a distribution, they tend to judge themselves as being above average sort of situation. I'm probably taller than people on average. I'm smarter. I'm like in the top blah 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 and whatever. So that may be the same sort of attribution mistake. Thinking, yeah, sure, I had an above average happiness, but I don't know. Next question, please.
How do you feel about your relationship with your mother?
I feel really good about it. I think my mom and I we had a very, very close relationship. We had like maybe an overly close relationship for a long time, but I think we have both worked very hard at having a very mutually supportive and sort of minimally mama's boy-y relationship of late. But I couldn't imagine my life without my mom. She's just, again, a pillar. She makes my life possible. So
Complete this sentence.
she's a pillar.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Complete this sentence.
Yes.
I wish I had someone with whom I could share.
Chess.
Alright.
Games. Playing games. I know Diego and I share our love of gaming. There's a certain way in which, like, honestly, chess, like, something that has been something that I play every single day for the last, like, 20 years, and I've never really, like, only for a little while, like, Eric and I would, like, hang out and play chess together, but I've never had a close friend that I played chess with. I would really like that. It's weird, I know,
It's a good game.
but classic.
When did you last cry in front of another person? By yourself?
Recently, both. I sometimes just like cry by myself, often on the elliptical machine. I think my my defenses are like down or whatever when I'm in like a super, heavy cardio state or whatever. That's usually when I'm able to like actually feel that stuff and allow it to be something that makes me sad and that's okay with. In front of somebody else, I often cry at really cheesy movies on TV. So maybe that was the last time I cried in front of somebody else when I was watching someone. And I was like, oh, he found his son. Oh God, life's so crazy.
Alright.
On, Danny.
Yes. What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about?
Diego, will you give me some more whiskey, please? I appreciate it. I think nothing, but I think that there's sort of two levels to this question. One is whether you're talking about like joking to someone's face who has been raped about rape. Like, no, that's not really inappropriate. That's not really appropriate. I think that it's hard for that to ever be appropriate. But does that mean that rape is something that should never be joked about? No. Like, I think that it's important that we, that we're able to be free in our thinking about these things a little bit. Not that like, not that everything's something to be made light of, but it's like part of our amazing ability as human beings that we do this. Thank you, sir.
If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them yet?
That's a good question. Because there are some things that it's not that it's not useful to tell people. Because even if you might have some perspective on someone and how they live their life, if they're not sort of receptive to that viewpoint, then you making an observation about their life that's not something that they can see is not necessarily going to be helpful and will only serve to alienate you from that person. So I think that it's obviously, you have to be playing sort of like riding a thin line there where you're, using your best judgment and trying to help your friends out and be a good mirror for them, but not, you don't want to. You need to be a friend. You need to also be supportive and recognize that there's stuff that we all have stuff that we're working on in the given time.
All right. Your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be and why?
I wish I could say nothing, but I have to choose one thing. I almost don't even want to go. I'm probably going to burn up in here trying to decide. Maybe my laptop or something lame. I don't know. If there's some data on something that I can't get back, then that's probably more important than any particular my dad's watch. I would like to save that.
All right, and lastly, of all the people you're close with, whose death would you find the most disturbing, and why?
I think any one of a group of my peers would be. I think all of you guys. I think any one of those people would really mess me up, just because it's so close. That's it.
All right, you did it.
Sweet. How long were we recording for?
4 hours.
Just under 4.5 minutes.
That's good. That's not very long. That
4.5
seems like a terrible estimate, though. That can't be right.
What?
Has it been 45 minutes? Did it stop recording?
No, I can stop
Has
it.
never been recording?